Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Wednesday, December 30th, 2015. Ra here in the Lynn-Life, Betty Jean in the Jamie Body Mind, other teammates in other aspects of the physical and to a small extent the non-physical, but all of us in the subatomic from the perspective of the spirit world viewers. Tomorrow night at sunset is our next deadline. We are not yet clear what we're supposed to have accomplished by tomorrow night, but we have projects going in both Thing 1 and in the Search for Truth pillar. Our intention is to do what is ours to do right now in all dimensions, to manifest the divine plan. Wiser minds above clearly noticing that a collective restart is needed, that people are too stuck, sentient presences are too stuck and don't want to live their soul plans, and we need a fresh start. And wiser minds above, noticing it isn't happening without a deadline, have given us the deadline of January 17th, 2017, by which to provide that collective restart, and a series of nested deadlines that take us from every moment to that collective restart, the next deadline being tomorrow night at sunset. With that, the videoed portions of today's efforts begin. It seems as though something has gone awry with that larger physical dimension level of Luce, who has already come down into these collections of dimensions, the
That's
subatomic
true.
to him, and has gone back to his bigger physical life, and he's supposed to come back down here. Paul and Cosa are waiting for him at the entry point at the top of Thing 1, and I see Paul tapping his watch and
That's
saying,
true.
it's been too long, it's been too long.
That's true.
What now?
How may we be of service right now?
I see. What seems to have happened is that that aspect of Luce's higher soul has been in contact with other aspects of Luce's higher soul, and instead of him convincing them to come with him into the subatomic, they seem to have convinced him to not go into the subatomic.
Oh, that's true.
This happens. Cosa is standing up and calling to him. She's a higher aspect of Cosa's soul, seems to be the mother of this higher aspect of Luce's soul.
That's true.
And this aspect of Luce's soul seems to be under 10 years old, between 5 and 10 years old maybe.
That's true.
She's saying, come on, let's do it again. And she's holding out her hand. Come on, let's do it again. And he's afraid, and what he's saying isn't true. He
That's
believes it to be
true.
true, but it isn't true. And so she's showing him these sorting motions and saying, you can separate truth from untruth, separate most true from least true, and then burn the least true. Separate most true from least true, and burn the least true. I feel it's possible our Luce, the Luce we've been working with, kind of coming out of his lab where
That's true.
he's been working in the Search for Truth pillar, and he's going up to the top of Thing 1 where Cosa and Paul are.
That's true.
And he's standing there and waving at his higher self, who's a little boy. That seems to make a difference.
That's true.
That little boy is now coming to be with his lower self. I see the little boy with our Luce holding one hand and our Cosa holding another.
That's true.
And Paul looks like he doesn't know what to do.
That's true.
But Paul, you're supposed to go with them. Maybe lead the way.
Maybe lead the way.
Maybe lead the way. And I see Paul kind of like slashing their way through the jungle.
That's true.
That is encroaching into the Thing 1 pillar. Every time we turn around, the jungle encroaches there.
That's true.
What is the jungle? Someone is asking me. The jungle is the jungle of lies that just encroaches on the space that we're attempting to hold open for truth. to flow through.
That's true.
I see lots of metaphors for how these presences are making their way down this pillar that's inside of thing 1. And the metaphors range from like a big scary ride that's at a big theme park.
Yes, that's true.
Something like that. And we also see the hacking the way through the jungle metaphors, but this scary ride seems to be what we're going with.
That's true.
People take these rides for fun, and this little boy is harnessed between a lower soul of his own mother and his own lower soul.
That's true.
He looks a little scared, but
A little scared.
he's willing, he's not backing out.
That's true, and he trusts the people on either side of him.
Yes, he does. And now I see them getting off at the bottom. I see Ulysses. Hi.
Hi.
And now it looks kind of like an airport concourse.
That's true.
And they're walking through that portal into the other dimensions.
That's true.
Paul is staying here at the portal, and he's kind of wiping his forehead and saying that was so much harder than he expected it to be. He thought
true.
Once the little boy had been through here once and saw it was fine, that it would be easy to get him to come back again. He didn't see it coming that those other aspects of Luce's higher soul would attempt to talk that aspect of Luce's higher soul out of it.
That's true.
There are a lot of twists we don't see coming. That's just how this work is.
That's true.
We think, oh, it should be smooth sailing from here, and then boom.
That's true.
The next bump makes itself known.
That's true. It's really noticeable how much that small Luce likes Ulysses. When he was up at the top of the ride, he looked down and saw Ulysses down at the bottom and felt better. And then when he got off the ride and Ulysses was waiting, he felt so much better.
That's true.
And Ulysses doesn't know what to make of this.
No,
he's uncomfortable around children, and he's very gruff, and
but he's not being gruff with this little boy. He's got an appropriate balance of kindness and encouragement.
That's true.
He's doing well.
He is.
It's possible that this little boy, Luce, knows that or feels that Ulysses isn't going to lie to him or sugarcoat things.
That could be. He likes him so much more than he likes most people.
He doesn't like most people.
No.
Paul is again pointing out we really need to find a way to get these other aspects of Luce's higher soul to engage with the process.
That's true.
And he's pointing to his watch, and I believe it has to do with our perception of what tomorrow's deadline means to the thing 1 pillar. We've really got to get some energy flow going through this pillar from top to bottom and bottom to top, and these higher soul aspects of ourselves are the best opportunities. So I can't help but notice that it's Paul who's pointing this out, and that Paul's higher soul is also involved in this somehow. And Paul, maybe your higher soul is supposed to come down.
That's true.
I think your higher soul has some kind of position as some kind of like maybe psychiatrist or something in that mental institution where some aspect of Luce is being held along with other psychics who are talking about the disaster in the subatomic levels. And they've been put into an institution as thanks for speaking the truth.
That's true. I see that higher soul of Paul in a white coat.
I see him.
In an office, and he's looking over paperwork.
Files.
All the notes he's taken of various sessions, and he's starting to line up the things that sound almost the same that these separate patients have said, patients who didn't have anything to do with each other.
No. So we need to get this Big Paul's attention and get him to try it for himself.
That's true.
In other words, meditate with the intention to see what's going on in the subatomic, and then maybe Paul, our Paul, can just kind of like reach up, take his hand and pull him down.
Pull him down, that's true.
And then take him on a tour. Watch him, Paul. He's getting ready to close his eyes. He's
starting.
Watch. Wait for it. Watch for it. Maybe now.
Now.
Pull him down. Kind of like with a vacuum motion or a suction motion. Something's happening.
Something's happening.
Paul feels like he's just inhaled a water balloon or something like that. Just very gently now walk through that portal until you find Luce and Cosa and little Luce. And walk up there and start talking to them. Explain to them what's going on, because this is going to freak out little Luce.
That's true.
He will feel something is different and something's unusual. So first things first, explain what you've done right away. That you're carrying a higher soul aspect of yourself into the experience, so that your higher soul aspect can have some kind of personal experience, so that when his patients are telling him about it, he doesn't think they're crazy.
That's true. How can you help me if you don't know for yourself that this is real?
Which is a good point. And so that's why Paul is carrying his higher soul into the experience.
That's true.
Because it's such a buffered experience, the higher soul isn't likely to have clear understanding of what just happened.
That's true.
But he's going to carry away a vibration. I think this is the theory.
Yeah.
He'll carry away a vibration so that when he hears it from his patients, he'll realize there's something to it.
That's true.
That's the theory, at least. Our Luce and Cosa are talking to little boy Luce.
That's true.
And they're helping him understand. They're saying, now do you feel how you're starting to feel a little sad, a little impatient, a little unfulfilled?
Nodding.
He's saying, yes.
Yes.
They're saying, it's because here on this side of the portal, the other side of the portal, from our normal collection of dimensions, it is a truthful space, but the rules are different, and their ways of being don't support us in living our soul plans and doing what we're supposed to be doing. So we feel peaceful because they aren't lying, but also sad and unfulfilled and a little bit irritated.
That's true. The little boy Luce is nodding. This is how he feels.
Yes. So that's when we know it's time for us to go back to our physical bodies and do more of the work that we're supposed to be doing until we get anxious, and then we need to come back here, and it can happen repeatedly, and it might be only 5 minutes that you're up there, and then you're here for another hour, and 5 minutes up there and here for another hour. But did you notice when you were back in your body how anxious you began to feel and how quickly that happened?
Yes, almost right away.
Almost right away. Do you like feeling anxious or peaceful?
No, I don't like feeling anxious. I like feeling peaceful.
Right, so don't stay up there very long, and we will wait for you at the top. Okay?
He's crying a little and he's saying, why can't you come with me?
We don't know why. Here's how it works for us. Wiser minds above tell us what to do. It's a lot easier to understand what it is we're supposed to do than the reasons for it. But it's really clear that the instructions are for you to come here. I don't know that there's anyone else in your size of physicality that is making the trip right now. I could be wrong.
Little Luce is asking, what can I do so I won't feel so alone when I go back?
Oh, keep a phone. It looks kind of like orange juice cans with a string in between.
That's true.
Our Luce is giving little Luce this connection. He says, keep connected, and when you're ready, just hold on and give it a tug, and we can reel you in. Would that make you feel better?
Yeah, now he's not crying anymore.
Okay. Now it's looking like one of those child safety things where the child has something around their wrist
That's
and
true.
the adult has something around their wrist, and there's a connection in between.
That's true.
Okay, you wear that. I think our Luce is wearing it.
Yes, that's true.
And he's saying, okay, we'll just connect with each other this way. That little boy looks calmer.
A lot calmer. He feels ready now.
Okay. Well, let's all go up. There's Ulysses again. Hi. We're passing Ulysses' decision point station, and now we're heading up to the top of thing 1. It's just this tunnel collapses so quickly.
So quickly.
Up we are to the top. Oh, it's like the little prince.
That's true.
He's going to his asteroid, is how it feels.
That's true. But he feels calm. He
feels calm.
ready.
And so come back, you can come back right away. That's the point. You don't have to stay there long. Don't let the anxiety build up, because when it builds up, it clouds decision making and we make crazy choices that don't make sense and don't work. So go up there, and the moment the anxiety starts, come back down, even if it's only 10 seconds from now. And we'll do that enough times so that you come to feel comfortable with the trip. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Go for a very short time and come back, okay?
Okay.
Asking for other presences to make this work right. I feel it's a higher soul of Ra. I recognize those fingers.
That's true.
Reaching down and straightening and smoothing the work. I don't know what level he's affiliated with.
I don't know.
He knows what's going on, and he's smoothing this, and he feels as though he himself is taking responsibility for the success.
That's true.
As should we all take responsibility for the success. If we don't all of us take personal responsibility, it is much less likely to come together in time.
That's true.